School website, htacademy.org/blog.
Third grade. In that fourth grade? Got it.
Oh, very good.
Oh, yeah.
Come back.
I need a weekend. I'm not gonna have it. Get better. They just come out Monday.
It is working, so we're going
Thank you.
see, I'm not allowed to say autocorrect, no, it's smarter than we think it is. Try to be correct. It's taking help Usually it's about 10-15 seconds behind.
Gina, I'm going to take my check over there. Do you want me to take yours to Mike? Oh, you already paid her? You already get her tickets? Oh. I gotta go get my money. If you want to get my tickets, I would love that.
Good morning, Holy Trinity. Good morning. Well, you all are in for quite a treat this morning. The first graders and the teachers and Mrs. Dane have been working very hard for a very long time on The Forgotten Princess. But first, we'll open in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for our school family. We thank you for the gift of drama and music. We hope that today's program will help bring us closer to you. In your name we pray, amen. And thank you in advance for being a good audience. And now here's Mrs. Dane.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Rubin, Mrs. Stevenson, and I would like to welcome you to The Forgotten Princess. Before I forget, I want to tell you of one substitution. Connor McGrew is now playing the part of the young prince. And this play was designed by me, but it was an adaptation of a Cinderella type play from England called Cap O'Reads. And so you'll see Cap O'Reads in a minute. It's a really nice story, and we hope that you enjoy it. Thank you.
Scene 1, the palace. Once upon a time, a long, long time ago, there lived a very rich king, whose wife had died, leaving him 3 lovely daughters. They were as the apple of his eye, and he loved them very much. Now one day the king decided to find out if his daughters loved him in return. He said to the oldest daughter, "How much do you love me, my dear?" The oldest daughter replied, "Oh, father, I love you as much as I love my own life." The king smiled and turned to his second daughter. "How much do you love me, my dear?" The second daughter replied, "Oh, father, I love you more than the whole world." The king smiled and turned to his youngest daughter. "How much do you love me, my dear?" The youngest daughter replied, "Oh, father, I love you more than food loves salt." The king frowned as he angrily led his daughter to the door. "You ungrateful child, you don't love me at all. Leave my palace at once. You must now beg from house to house from this day forward." The youngest daughter left the palace crying and weeping because she was brokenhearted.
I'm so sad, I'm broken hearted. I have no place to go. I'm broken hearted. I have no place to go.
The king got up from his throne and left the great hall. The entire village trembled as they whispered the news to one another. Scene 2, Water. When she had gone a little way from the palace, the young princess came to a wide river banked with reeds. She picked some and wove them into a coat to cover her dress and protect it from the weather. Then she made a cap of reeds to protect her head. The people who saw her called her Cap o' Reeds. And so she wandered on and on for many months, sleeping wherever she could find shelter and eating whatever food she was offered.
So sad, broken hearted. I have no place to go.
Cap o' Reeds traveled on and on until she came to another kingdom. This kingdom was ruled by a young and handsome prince. Reeves arrived at the palace of the young prince, she went to the kitchen door and asked to speak to the cook. She told the cook, "I have nowhere to go and I ask for no wages. I will do any sort of work in return for food and lodging." The cook replied, "If you like to wash pots and scrape saucepans, you may stay. I will find a bed for you in the attic with the other kitchen maids." So the young princess stayed in the new kingdom with her other kitchen maids. Day by day, she washed the pots and scraped the saucepans. And because she gave them no name, they called her Capper Reeves.
Broken-hearted, broken-hearted, I had no place to go.
Show must go on.
Scene 3, visits to the daughters' kingdoms.
I am the king, 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 I am.
In time, Capper Reeves' father divided his kingdom between his remaining two daughters. Each of them married well and promised to share their wealth with their father. As he aged, the saddened king decided to leave his palace to live part of each year with his two remaining daughters. He sold his kingdom, vowing never to return. And so, the old king, along with his trusted knights, traveled countryside to visit his oldest daughter. The king had only been there a short time, when his oldest daughter became annoyed with the noise and commotion of all the knights. She went to her father and said, "Father, your knights have turned my quiet house into a noisy stable. Your knights must go, but you may stay." The king was very unhappy with his oldest daughter's request. He replied, "Daughter, you are so hard and ungrateful. I will not stay here a moment longer. I will go at once to visit your sister." So once again, the king traveled countryside with his trusted knights. Soon the king reached the palace of his second daughter. She was very surprised to see him. "Father, what are you doing here? Your time with my sister is not finished yet. I am not ready for you. You are welcome to stay, but I cannot have a single one of your knights. I simply did not have room for them." Once again, the king was unhappy with his daughter's request. "Daughter, you are as hard and ungrateful as your sister. I will not stay here a moment longer." But the old king had nowhere to go. The knights knew that they had been defeated, so they bid a sad farewell to their king and returned to their homes.
The king was all alone now, alone now, alone now. The king was all alone now, a long time ago.
Scene 4, the forest. Now the king was alone. He had nothing left except the horse he rode upon. So he sold his horse for food and wandered away into the forest. After many days, he came to a deserted cabin in the middle of the woods. He rested there for a few days and made it his home. Although he did not know it, the king had wandered into the forest where his younger daughter now lived. Sometimes the old king heard the sound of huntsmen riding through the forest and dogs barking. Sometimes, too, the kitchen workers came into the forest to gather berries and mushrooms. One day, as the old man was sitting in front of his cabin, a young girl came into the clearing. She stood still, staring at him in astonishment, for she recognized her old father. She came toward him, struggling to hide her strong feelings. Kappa Reed said, Are you alone, old man?" The king smiled at her, glad to see a friendly face. But he had grown so short-sighted and confused of his old age that he did not recognize his own daughter, disguised as she was under cap and coat of Reed. Kappa Reed asked the old man if he would like to help her. "Shall I stay and help you for a little while? Perhaps I could cook for you or wash your clothes." "I would appreciate that very much," replied the old man. "Thank you for your kindness." And so Kappa Reed began to visit the old man whenever she was asked to gather food from the forest. The old man began to look forward for her coming with an eagerness that grew with each visit. Scene 5, the dance. A few weeks later, the young prince decided to hold a great feast. The town crier called out to the street, "Hear ye, hear ye! The young prince with a hold with a great feast. All are invited to the ball."
A party, the young prince had a party a long time ago.
All the servants were invited also to watch the celebration. But Capo Reeds was ordered to prepare the food for the feast and stay in the kitchen until she was needed. After her duties were finished in the kitchen, Capo Reeds ran up to the attic, took off her coat and Capo Reeds to reveal the dress she had worn as a young princess. She was transformed. As she came into the great hall, the young prince saw her standing in the doorway. She was the most beautiful girl she had ever seen. For the whole evening, the young king danced with the strange girl, who no one seemed to recognize.
Around the sun, I bow to you, you bow to me. I ask you please to dance with me, so say goodbye, and I'll say goodbye. Around the moon, around the sun, I bow to you, you bow to me. I ask you please to dance with me, so say goodbye, and I'll say goodbye. Around the moon, around the sun, I bow to you, you bow to me. I ask you please to dance with me, so say goodbye, and I'll say goodbye. Around the moon, around the sun, I bow to you, you bow to me. I ask you please to dance with me, so say goodbye, and I'll say goodbye.
Before the last dance, Capo Reed slipped away. She returned to her room in the attic to put on her coat and cap of green. When the young princess realized that she had gone, he searched for her, but he could not find her. At length, the young prince decided to hold another feast in hope that the young girl might return. The town crier called out into the street, "Hear ye, hear ye! The young prince will hold another feast. All are invited to attend the ball."
long time ago.
Once more, the servants were given permission to attend this celebration, except for Capo Reeves, who was directed to prepare the food. Once again, as soon as she was finished with her tasks, she ran up to the attic, pulled off her coat of Capo Reeves, revealing her special dress. She looked even lovelier than before.
There was a lovely princess, a princess, a princess. There was a lovely princess a long time ago.
As the princess entered the great hall, there was a gasp of excitement from the guests. The young prince hurried to greet her. They led her by the hand to the dance floor and danced with her all evening.
Just what I do. La 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 I would like to dance with you. Can you do just what I do? Sing la 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 la
During the last dance, the young prince bent down his head to the girl and whispered something. "You are the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. I have been searching for someone like you for a long time." He gave her his ring and said, "Will you please marry me?" The prince looked at him and smiled, but said nothing, dismayed by her silence. The young prince exclaimed, "I think I will die if I never see you again." The young prince turned and said goodbye to his guests, who were starting to leave. As the young prince turned his attention to his guests, the young princess quietly slipped away through the door to return to the kitchen attic. Once there, she covered her beautiful dresses with red reed cap and her cap of reeds. When the young prince discovered that she was gone again, he was broken-hearted. He called and called, but there was no answer. When he could not find her in the palace, the young prince searched throughout the town. He walked and walked, calling up and down the streets. My beautiful princess, where are you? Please come back, please come back. He looked for many hours, but she could not be found. Once again, she had disappeared. Scene 6, the surprise. The young prince's staff tried everything they can think of to cheer their young master. Nothing seemed to ease the pain of the young prince. Each day he grew sadder and sadder. Everyone in the kingdom was worried about his health. The cook was asked to make a special dish for the prince, but nothing could change the sadness that the prince felt in his heart. In desperation, the cook asked the kitchen workers if any of them knew of a dish that might encourage the unhappy prince. Captain Reeves told the cook about a special stew from her country that might help the young prince. The cook asked her to quickly prepare the stew. Immediately, Captain Reeves and the kitchen workers started to make the stew. Right before the stew was to be served to the young prince, Captain Reeves quietly slipped the prince's ring into the bottom of the bowl. The cook carried the stew to the young prince. When it was served, the prince tasted it. Then another taste, and another, and soon he had eaten it all. When he had reached to the bottom of his bowl, the young prince saw a ring. With a surprised look on his face, he picked it up and asked, "Where did this come from?" The young prince fondly recalled the beautiful princess who had slipped away from the dance. Excitedly he proclaimed, "Bring me the person who cooked this stew at once." The cook hurried back to the kitchen to tell Captain Reeves about the young prince's request. "Captain Reeves, the young prince wants to see you. Go quickly." So Captain Reeves quickly washed her hands and went to the great hall to present herself to the young prince. When she arrived, the young prince began to question her. "Tell me how this ring found its way to the bottom of my soup bowl." "I put it there," replied Captain Reeves. "Where did you get it?" said the young prince. Captain Reeves told him that the young prince had given it to her. "Young lady, what is your name?" said the prince. Captain Reeves answered, "People call me Captain Reeves." The young prince said that he had never heard of such a name and had never seen anyone dressed in such curious clothes. As Captain Reeves listened to the young prince, she became very sad, remembering the life she had once lived in her father's kingdom. Captain
Maya returned quickly. Catherine Reed fled to the kitchen, where she took off her cap. Her beautiful hair tumbled to her shoulders. Then she took off her coat and reeds to reveal a beautiful gown. She returned to the young prince to present herself before him as a beautiful princess. When Captain Reeves returned to the young prince as a beautiful princess, he was so surprised. So it is you. I am so happy to see you again. I have missed you so much. You've made me happy at the dance, but then you disappeared. Please marry me and live with me as my wife.
Scene 7, the wedding feast. All the bells in the city rang out to announce the wedding of the young prince and his princess. After the ceremony, there was to be a great feast, and all the townspeople were invited to attend. The town crier went to the balcony to proclaim, hear ye, the young prince has proclaimed a great feast. Everyone in the kingdom was invited to the wedding banquet. Invitations were given to everyone far and wide, including the old man who lived in the forest. Captain Reeds had gone to him in her coat and cap of reeds to ask him to come to the feast. Then she went to the cook and asked that no salt be used in any of the food for the wedding feast. At the wedding feast, the young queen sat with her husband at her side and watched the old man from the forest as he took his first mouthful of food. The old man frowned with disappointment at the taste of the food. All of the guests started to complain about the taste of the food. Suddenly, tears began to flow down the old man's cheeks as he remembered the day a long time ago. He now understood the meaning of his youngest daughter's claim that she loved her father and mother with no salt. His heart was filled with sorrow. One of the guests said, "What is the matter, old man?" The old man replied, "I was remembering my beloved young daughter. Once I asked her how much she loved me. When she replied as much as food loves salt, I foolishly banished her from my house in rage. Now I would give anything back to find her and ask her for forgiveness. I thought she didn't love me, but now I see she loved me best of all." Pepper reads, "Rose from her seat to stand before the old man. It is I, father, the daughter whom you seek." The old man was filled with hope. "Dear daughter, please forgive me. I was wrong. I know that you love me very much." As the father and daughter embraced, everyone rejoiced, giving thanks that the father and daughter had found one another again. In time, the whole country united under the rule of the young prince and princess. They ruled it wisely so that the people prospered. The old king lived in the palace with the young prince and princess, where he had 100 knights to attend him. And so at last they all lived happily ever after.
Very happy, so happy, so happy. They all were very happy a long time ago. Finished with our story, our story, our story. We're finished with our story a long time ago.
The end. The answer? Young